Hello, Tom.
Hello, Kath.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm fine.
You're good?
Yes, I'm good.
Today we built a house.
Oh.
I say today. This was last week. Today I've built nothing. But no one else knows that. Or they didn't. But now they do.
We're building two houses?
One house is a big house.
Okay, one house. What's the big bit in the middle then?
It is a space.
For?
Car. To drive through. The idea was I wanted a house that connected at the top, but at the bottom it was like a tunnel way through to the back garden.
Right, okay.
You can enter the house on both sides. So yeah, that's the thing you can do. Although when I was building it, I imagined the side on our right at the moment, I imagined that to be like the grandparents' apartment that they keep, then they stay downstairs.
Apartment, it's bigger than some people's houses.
Yeah, I know. I know, when I used to live with my gran and granddad and stuff, there was a kid I went to primary school with, and his nan lived in her own granny attic, which isn't an attic, it was just a one-storey house, but it was actually really big. Once she invited us in, because he wasn't there on the last day of primary school, so I took over the thing that they handed out, and she invited us in because no one was home in the main house. And it kept going. She was like, oh, come in and have a cup of tea. And she took us down to her kitchen, and it was such a long corridor. And maybe because I was only 10, but it seemed massive. But yeah, so on the bottom floor of the house, there's two bits of wall that are currently jutting out. I wanted to do like sort of barn doors, as if this has been heavily converted, and that used to actually be enclosed for maybe a tractor or something, but now it's just a regular suburban home with a regular suburban car. But, you know, the suburban... Bless you! Must you do that in every single voiceover? It is clear you must. Please just leave. Oh no, is she okay?
No,
don't sneeze on...
Okay.
Poor Gizmo. She sneezes on all of our stuff. Better?
Yes.
Okay, very good.
So you didn't waste any time connecting it up?
No, otherwise I feel like I often do roofs before the second floor, and that kind of messes it up for me.
So at this point, what were you thinking about the connecting room being?
I wasn't.
Because you haven't made it a corridor, which is what I initially thought it was going to be.
New.
So it's actually a room. But it has to be a room that people happily pass through.
I think partly a room. I can't quite remember what I did.
The library.
But we don't...
Everyone has to get a book if they want to get to the kitchen.
You must read on your way to the kitchen, or you're not allowed to eat.
The kitchen in one side and the toilet in the other.
Oh, that's cruel.
Have to take a book.
What, to the loo?
Yeah. Or anywhere.
That's the rules in this house. You don't pick up a book, you don't get to go eat. It is just how it is. That is the way it is. There are two parts to this video, as a forewarning. We don't quite get to the decorating in this part because... Or do we? I don't think so. But I vaguely recall there being 3 or 4 bedrooms, I'm not sure which. One of the bedrooms, the master bedroom, has stairs going up to a very tiny room which leads out onto a small balcony. So that's just for the parents to get away for a bit. A tiny balcony.
Tiny.
It is quite cute, I really like it. There's a lot of space on this lot. Most of it is taken up by the house, which is very large. I don't know why I did it so big. I like it on the outside, but then it comes to the inside, and I don't even like the decorating part. And then I don't know what to put in it, because I've never lived in that big a space. The house that I grew up in, it wasn't that big. It was a council house, so it was, I don't know, normal sized? Whatever that would be.
Council house size.
Council house size, but it was only me and my mum and a cat. And so it was always so empty. We didn't know what to fill it with. In the living room it was just a TV, a glass cabinet with the DVDs in it, a really, really ugly sofa that was once grey but was, by the time we had it, some weird sort of sepia. Like tea had been spilt over every single part of it. With tons of mismatched cushions all from charity shops. The wallpaper was really gross. It was again, once white, and when we moved in it was beige-ish. I don't quite know what colour it was. It wasn't really a colour. But it was like, I don't know how to describe it, but it sounds like a hallucination or a fever dream. But when you touched the wallpaper, it pressed in like there was air bubbles inside it. It wasn't air bubbles, it was sort of meant to look like that, like it was a design, but it was awful. And I just always got my, you know, you have crescent shapes with your fingernails. I always dug my fingernails into the plush bits, so there are just tons of crescent moon shapes on the wallpaper.
Oh god.
I know. But anyway, the point of all that, digressing, was we had not that big a house, but we still couldn't fill it up. I had a really old desk in there, which when I started high school eventually got a laptop on top of it. But other than that, the room was really sparse. We just couldn't fill it up with stuff. We didn't know what to do, and maybe it's because of that I can't decorate very well in The Sims. I never know what to put in it, and I try to overcompensate with clutter because I'm worried I'll make it too minimalist, to put it kindly.
Yeah.
But I'm not great at decorating. I try my best, but I think
you're quite good at decorating.
Really? Thank you. Your Animal Crossing house looks better than mine. We loaded up... Oh, you're not supposed to agree.
It does.
We loaded up our ACNL saves last week. I don't know why. What made us do it? I don't know.
I think I just did it one day.
Oh, no. And when we started playing ACNL, back then, I was regrettably on Tumblr quite a lot, and everyone was doing amazing stuff with their towns, like Harry Potter themed, or, you know, just the pastel pink princess theme with pink roses everywhere and stuff. And I was so confused. I was like, what will people like best? I have to please these people. And so I sort of did this weird amalgamation of everything, which resulted in something that just looked really awful and memey and pointless. And so when I loaded it back up, and I remembered that one of my characters is Harry, and he has a Hogwarts house, and one of them is Silver from Gold and Silver Pokemon, I was just like, oh, I should delete them.
Yeah.
But Tom advised me not to.
Surprised you didn't have a Merlin house.
I know, I'm surprised by that as well. Maybe because I had a Harry one, I couldn't do 2 magic ones.
Well, no, you could only have 2 extra people, because you need the 3rd one to load in to make sure someone doesn't move into a crappy location.
Oh, that's the reason, yeah. I never reset them.
Yeah, I know, that's why you've got loads of people living in crappy locations.
I don't mind the locations people are living in.
Apart from Beardo,
Except
Beardo.
No, Barrel.
Barrel.
I don't mind Beardo or Beardo or however you say. He seems
don't
like
have Beardo.
No, but I mean, I wouldn't mind him. He seems quite lovely. He reminds me of a hobbit, but tall.
Barrel is really gross looking.
Barrel he's a bear cub, but he has stubble.
He looks really sweaty as well.
He does. I'm sure he's not a bear cub. He's actually a fully grown one, but he's just a bit stunted because he has a poor diet.
He's lied on his forms.
He definitely hopped on Gulliver's boat to get into my town. That's why he has the stubble and he never shaved it off.
I'm definitely a bear cub.
Okay. Okay, Barrel. His name, though.
Gulliver forgets so much, probably sail or something.
God. Anyway, but I this is sad, but I don't mind Barreled as much as I dislike Elise being in my town. The monkey. She reminds me of a teacher I had who hated me, and it was a bad time. This teacher said, "You can't write, maybe you shouldn't bother." And then when I said, okay, maybe I should just quit this class then if I'm going to get a poor grade, she said, no, don't do that. Just, rewrite your coursework. Rewrite this story. I did a dystopian story.
She was the only teacher that took issue with you.
Yeah. I got the lowest grade in her class.
You had James literally 6 months later, and he gave you for your story, he gave 80. You an 80 or something. Yeah.
I know.
And she gave you a ridiculously low grade.
It was really low. I can't remember what it was.
It was the lowest grade you received.
Yeah, throughout my entire time at uni.
By a massive margin.
Because she okay, so I wrote a dystopian
2-1
story.
was your lowest before that. And she gave you something ridiculous.
I think she gave me a 3rd.
Yeah.
Which is so bad. I never even got a 2-2, which is between 2-1 and a 3rd.
But your coursework dragged it all up, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. She couldn't mark you down for essays.
Because it would have looked too strange if I was getting 1sts and 2-1s and everything, and then suddenly in that I got a 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
But no, because I wrote a dystopian story, And then she said, I really hate dystopian literature, and if you write this, I can't grade it highly. What? It sounds made up. It really does. If someone said that to me, I probably wouldn't believe them. I'd be like, surely teachers wouldn't do that, not at university. But she literally said that, so in a week I had to rewrite this story for my final grade in 3rd year, and I didn't like it, because I only had a week to do it, and I couldn't think of another idea that I was really into, and I didn't think she was going to give me a high grade anyway, and I was really demotivated after she told me I couldn't write, and for some reason I believed her for a while. Bah! Anyway, so yeah, uni's pointless, don't do it. No.
Well, unless you want to be a doctor.
Unless you're doing a maths or a science, but if you're going there to do literature like me, probably not worth your while. I hated it.
Especially,
unless it's a red brick.
Unless if you get into like top university.
Oh, it's so ridiculous.
Then do it. Because that's all people care about.
Yeah, the amount of jobs I've applied to.
And top universities give you tons of opportunities to do loads of extracurricular stuff.
Yeah.
Jobs only care about the university you went to, and if you did lots of extracurricular stuff.
It doesn't even matter what grade you got.
If you have work experience.
Yeah. But I've applied to jobs where it literally asks, did you attend Oxbridge or a red brick university? I had to look up red brick university. It's literally just a series of universities that were built around the same time, and yes, they do all have red bricks, and that is the status that workplaces want from you, at least here. So that's nice.
Going to Imperial is really good as well.
That's nice to know now. But yeah, when I applied for universities, I just picked 5 safe ones to apply to, and I don't know what. I should have picked one that was a bit out there, but I didn't. Can you not?
I'm not. No, I didn't.
Shh. But you did. Yes.
No.
But you did. Stop it. Oh, so the house is coming along quite nicely during our university lammet.
That's it.
Could you not?
It's on the bed.
So you did do it.
Twice.
Why?
I'm sorry.
I'm
sorry to all of you.
You've ruined everyone, all 3 of you.
No, I really am sorry.
That's okay.
No, I really am sorry. It's just I was holding it and I did it instinctively, and then after the first one, I had a jagged edge.
God, I hate you. Anyway,
so
while Tom's been clipping his nails and
you've been ranting about university, a house has been built.
House has been built. What do you think, everyone?
Thank you, Santa. It looks really elaborate. There are a lot of lofts. How many grannies do you have?
About 5.
do
Actually,
the grannies
there
have
were
to compete
6.
every year to see who gets the biggest one?
Yeah. look, 3 live up there in the tiny rooms, and they can't get down the stairs. A ladder drops down, and so the grandson and granddaughter, they climb up the ladders to bring them their daily food and their bucket to pee in.
You know you've got 5 then. You've got that massive one.
Yeah.
You've got 1 in the back. Now every year the grannies compete. So you've got 6 grannies. Every year they compete. But they don't want to win. They want the one at the back, so they don't have to do stairs all the time.
Yeah. Not even stairs. The ones in these tiny ones, there's just drop-down rope ladders.
Well, they certainly don't want to do the rope ladders, Gav.
It's not my fault. I didn't build the house. Yes, I did. It's not my fault someone with 6 grandmothers moved into this house without several bedrooms and several bathrooms. Don't do that, kids. Don't move your 6 How would you have 6 grandmothers? Some people probably do. That must be nice. Grandmothers are great.
Grandmothers are great.
So there's the barn doors. I did my best. You can size up the dog doors, and that looks really good, but it doesn't quite fit. So if you are a perfectionist, don't do it because it will drive you insane. But if you can live with it until you upload it to the gallery and then delete it so you don't have to look at it, then there you go. That's what I'll do. Because,
yes.
Yeah. Anyway, it's a family house.
Are you doing the garden?
No.
No?
A tiny bit.
So what is the garden in your mind then? Is it a place where they park the cars?
The car is parked right in that little
it's
tunnel
in
driveway.
The archway. Oh, it's kind of like the house that What's-His-Face lives in, you know, that game. Grand Theft Auto 5. Yeah. You know how he has the house on the hill?
Oh,
the main character.
Franklin.
Not Franklin.
Not Franklin?
No, this is nothing like Franklin.
Michael.
So
Sorry,
Michael has the house,
and
he has not in the centre like you, but off to the side he has a slight little tunnel.
He does.
He leaves one of his cars out the front and one of the cars in the tunnel.
Doesn't Franklin try to steal his
Franklin
car
has to steal the car that's out the front, not the one in the tunnel.
Oh yeah. You sneak around the back to go through and stuff.
And you have to go into the house and
Yeah. Yeah, I wasn't thinking of that, but yeah, it's kind of reminiscent of it. Out the back, there will be a pool, and there will be a gardening area,
And there will be snacks, so make sure to bring a friend.
No, don't bring friends. We don't like friends here.
Bring a pet.
Yes. I wanted it to look slightly overgrown because a lot of the people who live here I imagine to be quite busy. That's why, I don't know, they have a big house and it's kind of the show.
They have a big house.
But they don't really get along. That's why there's so many rooms, so everyone can retreat from each other. I don't know why. I guess that says a lot about me and my relationships with people.
You wish there was big room, rooms were far away from each other.
Oh my god, yeah, I would live in one of those tiny granny attics where no one can get up there. Definitely, definitely. Catherine, drop the rope ladder down. No, you haven't eaten in 5 days. I know. I'm trying to die. No, not really. If I wanted to do that, I'd jump out the window. That's something I'd like, not jumping out the window, but something I'd like to do is being able to climb out my window onto the roof. Because that's so, like I've seen that in so many American, high school movies or whatever. Or at least I imagine so. I don't think I've ever seen a movie like that, but I think that's a thing. You can climb out your window and sit on the roof. Peter Parker does it in Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man with Andrew Garfield, not you know, Tobey Maguire with his finger gun thing.
The new one.
I've not seen the new one.
Apparently it's much better than
apparently.
Andrew Garfield's.
I'm a bit bitter because my cousin went to high school with the guy playing the new Spider-Man, supposedly.
You were this close
he claims
to becoming
that
Spider-Man.
I could have been Spider-Man if I'd
You're not a
been
man.
That's sexist.
That's not how it works.
That's sexist. If I'd gone to Wimbledon College, I'll change that. I'll beep that out. If I'd gone to that school, I definitely would have been Spider-Man. Definitely. Well, I would have.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you had no chance. The school you went to.
No.
No. But I lived.
The odds were actually
near your
against
school.
me for getting past school GCSEs.
I
to go
know.
to
What was
college.
the statistic?
I think from my year, mine was the first year that actually had over 50% were expected to pass.
Wow,
with A to Cs.
expected to, not even
Whatever, we
did.
expected to get at least 5 A to Cs.
fine.
I know, we underachieved.
How do
we
you
did go down
underachieve with that?
I don't know, it was a really
wow.
bad school.
Yeah, that's impressive in a backwards way. Yeah. Oh well, you passed. Well done. Good job.
Yeah.
Congrats.
That's pretty sick.
I guess. You managed to not fail everything.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I wish I had failed high school and I'd been forced into a practical job
Yeah.
rather than going to uni.
Yeah.
Anyway, we talk about that too often. I know I brought it up. I'm sorry. I threw that extra thing sticking out on that roof because whenever I think something looks too boring, I just stick something jutting out from the building and that kind of fixes it a bit. Very quick fix sort of thing. Life hacks, you know, tell your friends. If your friend comes up to you and says, oh, you know, David, I just can't make my house in The Sims look good, it's just one big block, just say, go to Blossom Bomb's channel. She has some pro tips, proper life hacks for The Sims. It's amazing stuff. Just stick a room on, an extra little room, different size to the main one, and mind-blowing. Used all white windows. Cats and dogs, still sticking to those windows because those are the best windows so far. I used some Parenthood ones in here as well because those are pretty dank, as the kids say nowadays. They probably don't say that anymore. It's like the whole Fortnite thing.
I wonder what
you're
kids say now. Hey, want to build blocks? Blocking. That's what kids say. Blocking, baby.
You can't say that.
We're blocking.
No one says baby. That's so 60s. That's not in yet.
Are kids still into Hot Wheels?
Tom, that was when we were little.
Yeah, but I wasn't into Hot Wheels, so I don't know if it picked on. It caught.
No.
Maybe.
My mum keeps claiming that Crazy Bones are going to come back one day. You know, I've had Crazy Bones.
Does she know that most little kids just
go on tablets?
Tablets, yeah.
I don't think so. I know. I had quite a lot of Crazy Bones. Not to brag. I bet there are some people watching this who are like, what on earth are those? You had 3?
Yeah.
I had 3
that
bags.
was about as many as I could get mum to buy me.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's alright.
I got a lot of them at car boot sales.
That was the bonus you had over me.
What? Because I was a single child.
You were
Siblingless.
Yeah, you were siblingless, so at least you did
With
get
a single
spoiled with a single parent. So you may not have had a dad. Be thankful you didn't have a sister or a brother either.
Yeah.
Kind of is it's a bit of a win-win.
It is. I don't know. Why?
Dads are good.
If you say so. Oh.
So if I was a dad one day,
You
I
would
would
become
have to
terrible
leave.
person.
I would become
you
a terrible
will leave.
person.
No.
I would just leave.
No.
Alright.
No, it's not true. My granddad was like I always made my granddad Father's Day cards. In primary school they said, Catherine, you have to make a card because we have no other work for you to do. So I just made one for Granddad. And I always drew a big pint of beer on the front and wrote something about him getting drunk when I was like 5, and the teachers would be like giving me weird looks like, okay, something is wrong. It wasn't though. Grandad just likes beer. Sorry, I mean he likes bitter.
Bitter.
That's what he. Is it different? I don't know. I know. Once I tried. He was at Christmas once. He was like, "Try this, Catherine." And I was like, "Okay." Bit weird because he's never asked me.
Only 8.
7 actually. No, I'm kidding. It was when I was like 16, 17 or something. I don't know. And I was like, "Oh, that's bitter," and he said, "No, it's dry." What? Yeah, but it tasted bitter. No, but it's dry. What are you talking about? I don't know. I don't get it. When I turned 18...
I love this drink. This dry drink.
What's the point?
Fuck's sake.
When I was 18, my cousin's girlfriend got me to try something. I think it was vodka and something else, and it was awful. We're done! Hello, goodbye. See you next time. There will be decoration.
Be more monologuing.
More monologuing about you never know. I'll try and talk about the build, but I mean it's an American suburban.
Yep.
What can you do?
It
Alright.
looks really nice.
Catch you later, alligators.
Smell you bye.
Oh yeah, don't forget to like and subscribe.
Yeah.
Before Tom falls off his chair. Ah!